Fellas, you have to treat women like an orange, man. You gotta treat them like an orange. You gotta peel back the layers. A lot of stuff that a woman has been through has causes her and causes them, in general, women, a lot of women to be covered up, man, to cover up. You got to take your time to get to know the real her. A lot of women have indoctrinated ideologies of 304s, of different celebrities, whether that be actresses, actors, social media influencers, single women, their friends that are single. A lot of women who follow Nicki Minaj, who are barbs, consider themselves barbs, don't want to grow up. Women who consider themselves bees are the followers of Beyonce. A lot of women that dealt with childhood trauma, trauma from past relationships, man. You really have to take your time, fellas. It may take a year, it may take 2 years, it may take a few years, but you gotta be patient. Especially if you plan on being a provider, if you plan on getting into a serious relationship with this woman and you plan on being a provider, we're not talking about 50-50. You gotta be careful, man. You gotta be extremely careful and calculated with these women. And you can't judge them by what they say. You gotta go off of their actions. You just sit back and you watch, man, and a woman will reveal her true self, her true intentions without you even having to ask or without you waiting for a legitimate answer. You get what I'm saying? You really have to ask a woman about her most recent past relationship. And if she puts the blame all on him, you know what type of woman you're dealing with. You're dealing with a woman that does not accept accountability. You have to look at it as if you and her get into a disagreement, she's not going to hold any accountability. If she didn't hold any accountability with her last man and they were together for a year, 2 years, or however long, what makes you think she's not going to do the same with you and you're somebody new? You get what I'm saying? You got to take your time, and you really got to take your time and examine every little thing about these women. That's why sometimes when you're dating a woman seriously and you both live separately, she has her own place, you have your own place, you want to leave some bum clothes. You want to stay the night, a couple of nights at her house, leave some bum clothes there when you get to that level, because you want to see how she lives. Is she clean? Is she messy? Does she have bad habits that you won't like if you two live together? Does she leave the doors unlocked? Does she leave the windows open too much when it's cold, wasting the heat? Or blowing the AC where it's too cold? She has a problem. She's always hot. She's always cold. These are things you got to think about with you two living together long term. Please pay attention to this video. Don't go nowhere, man. These are very important traits, important qualities of a woman. This whole video, listen to the whole video, fellas. I remember being younger, man. I dated a few Puerto Rican women, Spanish women, and I had some Spanish male friends as well. And one thing about them, I can't say for all, but I know a lot of them, majority of them. And I had a lot of Spanish friends, and I dated a lot of Puerto Rican women in my younger years, early 2000s. Their parents always kept the doors open, windows open. There'd be flies all throughout their house, mosquitoes, and they were always cooking. The rice and beans, the penne, the baked chicken, you know what I'm saying, mofongo, all the things you could think about. And there was always flies in and out the house. And you got to think about that, man. If you're a man who you're into Spanish women, you love dating Spanish women, is she a woman who is going to indoctrinate that type of ideology, that thought process? Oh, if it's nice, I'll leave the doors open, leave the windows up. You got to think about that, man. As a man, that's nasty to me. As a man, that may be nasty to you. You know what I'm saying? You may think that's small, but it's not small. Flies carry a lot of bacteria, a lot of diseases, man. They land on food, they throw up, and all this type of nasty stuff we don't need to get into. But that's just one thing, man. You definitely want to see how a woman treats her parents, how she talks about her parents. You want to meet her mother, see how she interacts with her mother, what type of person her mother is. If she was raised by her mother most of her life, she's probably going to be a spitting image or a reflection of her mother. Her thought process may be the same as her mother's. I'll use myself, for example. You know what I'm saying? My woman, she had both parents in her life, but she spent a lot of time with her mom in her younger years, and as she kind of got into her, I would say, leaving out of high school, she stayed with her dad and supported her dad and took care of him and helped him out and whatnot. And her mother is a single mom, and when me and her first started dating, I noticed some type of tendencies where, she would be real snappy, and I felt like I couldn't really control her, and it came to a make it or break it situation. I told her, I said, if you don't change your ways, man, we can't go forward. And, if a woman really wants to be with you as a man, she will change her ways. She will break those bad habits. But yeah, man, I noticed my woman was acting like her mom, man. And it's because her mom was single, and her mom still is single. So yeah, man, you definitely want to look into how a woman interacts with her parents and treats her parents and stuff like that. Again, like I said in one of my previous videos that didn't get as many views as it should have gotten, man, you really want to go look into a woman's past relationship, and how she feels about her ex-boyfriend. You know, you really wanna see what went wrong there. You know, you can't let her put all the blame on him. You know, you also want to see what type of dude he was. You know, what did he have going for himself and stuff like that. And also, man, these women that have all these long eyelashes and wear these weaves and these wigs and stuff, kind of similar to the Nicki Minaj Barbie thing. They don't want to grow up. And sometimes it's not even not want to grow up. Sometimes it's just them not loving how they really look, their true self. You know, they've been told by their mothers or by kids when they were younger that they were ugly. You know what I'm saying? That they weren't attractive, that their hair wasn't the greatest texture. You know, they just didn't like the way they look, so they cover themselves up. They douse in makeup. They douse in all these harmful chemicals of makeup, fake nails, the long nails, the fake eyelashes, and the wigs and weaves, like I said, man. And they want to be dyeing their hair all these weird, unnatural colors, looking like clowns and stuff like that, man. And that's not the real her. When you see a woman that looks like that, man, that looks like a clown, or that looks like she's playing Barbie or playing dress up, that is not the real her. She is covering up. She is covering up hurt and pain. 100%, 1000%. Pay attention to what I'm saying right now, man. Do not let a woman lie and tell you that she is not covering up hurt and pain when she has to go out doused up in makeup. Wearing all this weird color hair and all this wig and stuff like that. She does not love herself. Do not let her fool you. Sometimes even in the gym, man, I see it with these women, man. I see these women, face full of makeup. Why are you with a face full of makeup in the gym? I feel like a woman that's like that does not take her workout serious, because you're going to sweat that stuff off. You're going to sweat it out. And then there may be some makeups that you really don't sweat out like that, but still at the end of the day, what's the point? Are you there to work out, or are you there to get attention, to look good for other women? Because a lot of times, some of these women that put on this makeup, they're not even there for male attention. They're there to get compliments from other women or looks from other women. Or they want other women to be jealous of them or envy them. And again, that's not the real them. Women that do that, that's not the real them, man. They're dealing with some deep down, some real trauma, man. Some childhood trauma, some past relationship trauma. Whether, again, it's from a family member, their mom telling them they were ugly or weren't good enough. Or this one from an ex putting them down, making them feel like they weren't ugly or good enough. And sometimes it's not even that, man. Sometimes a man that they dated could have cheated on them with a woman that looks better than them. You know what I'm saying? And that kills their self-esteem. So they feel like from now on they gotta look all dolled up everywhere they go because of what their ex did to them, man. You gotta really, really find out the source of why the women are doing these things. That is not natural. Okay, I'm out of here, man. Put this AC on. It is not natural for a woman to douse up and makeup like that. That's why you gotta find out the real her. You got to get down to the real reason why she's doing this stuff, man. I know a few women that were like that. They used to go everywhere they go. They had to be makeup, nails done, eyelashes, hair had to be perfect and all this stuff. And they got with a real strong masculine man, and he got them to change their ways. He got them to love themselves for who they really are, how they look when they wake up in the morning. Have you ever heard a woman say, yeah, maybe a little masculine, a little rough around the edges, but you know what I'm saying? That's because I haven't met a real man to break me out of this. It is true. In some scenarios, it is true. A lot of scenarios, they're just masculine. That's how they are. That's how they choose to be. Nothing can change that. But some scenarios, they haven't dealt with a real, strong, heterosexual, masculine male. And when a woman gets a hold of that type of guy, when she meets that type of guy, he can change her. He can make her real feminine real quick. She can become real feminine, real dainty, real obedient real quick. Because she just can't help it, man. It's just too much testosterone. She's already attracted to him. She's already, dating him and getting to know him. And he has so much testosterone, she's forced to just be like Jello. You know what I'm saying? He could just mold her and whatever she wants him to be. And this is even older women. I've heard men say that, once a woman's in her 30s, you really can't change her mindset. It is what it is. That's not always true, man. That is not always true. So yeah, fellas, once you actually get to know a woman, you're going to realize everything I'm saying is true. A lot of these women are on antidepressants. You know how hard it's going to be to get to know a real woman when she's on antidepressants? Or where she's supposed to be on her medication, but she's not taking it? You know how hard it's going to be to get to know the real her? You're going to feel like a shrink. You're going to feel like a counselor at some point. You're going to feel like a psychiatrist. Because there are a lot of these women that are dealing with so much trauma, so much pain, so much hurt, holding everything in. Don't know how to balance out their emotions. Yes, women are extremely emotional. Yes, they are. But when they come to a certain age, when they become adult, once they hit their late 20s, early 30s, they're supposed to know how to control their emotions. That's why when I see certain police body cam videos and I see these grown women throwing tantrums, kicking the back of police cars and doing all this crazy stuff, I'm like, yeah, she hasn't met a masculine man yet. She hasn't got counseling to talk to anybody. She's dealing with a lot of trauma. Whether it's through childhood, whether it's through past relationship, she's dealing with a lot of trauma. And a lot of those women that you see in those police body cams, they are wifed up. They have husbands, they have boyfriends, they have baby daddies. Yeah, so dudes were willing to deal with them while they're not in their right mental state. Dudes were willing to deal with them without getting to know the real them. No man in his right mind is going to impregnate a woman that's just mentally unstable and that he knows is going to put him through stress. No man is going to do that in his right mind. But if a man does not get to know a woman fully, yeah, these things happen. Stuff happens. And that's why I'm going to talk about women real quick. That's why I can't stand when women say, oh, he was abusive, he was a cheater, as soon as they give birth to the child, right after they have the child. The signs were there. Women just choose to ignore the signs. Just like men choose to ignore the signs and deal with women. They see the big butt and the smile, they ignore everything else. They just want the box. Women do the same thing. They see a handsome man, they see a man with money, with status, that's popular, whatever it is that attracts them to them. You know what I'm saying? And they get with him. They ignore the time where, you know what I'm saying, he told you he was going to pick you up at 7 o'clock and you weren't ready till 7:30. They ignore the time when he was spazzing on you, said, well, what the heck are you doing? I told you ready at this time. Don't play with me. Don't play with my time. They ignored that because they were getting a free meal. And they were being taken out to a restaurant that they knew was expensive, or they seen on social media and they haven't tried it yet. They ignore the signs because they were going to get that free meal. The signs were there, though. You done seen a post on social media where his baby mother told you that he beat her, he punched her, this, he did that. She's got protective and restraining orders against him. But because he's handsome, because he smiles in your face, you ignore those signs. The signs are always there. Just like with you fellas. She's always in her phone. Always in her phone, texting, but hiding it to the point where she don't want you to really see what the words are or see who she's texting. The signs are always there. You go to her house, you see half drinking water bottles all over the place, on the side of the bed, on the counter, here or there. But you get with her anyway. You wife her up anyway. The signs were there that she's messy. You go to use her bathroom, you see there's hair all on the side of the toilet seat, on the back of the toilet seat, all in the drain in the sink. But you get with her anyway. You knew she was messy, didn't clean up her hair properly. You still decided to live with her. The signs were there. Just a simple thing. Simple thing. Oh, you said that you would be ready at this time and you're not. You know, you made me late. You made me miss my appointment, man. Could you at least apologize? No, she doesn't have any accountability. Well, if you would have let me know that we were going to this place, I would have wore this outfit. I wouldn't have had to change. You didn't tell me we were going to more of a low-key spot. I got dressed up, so once you told me where we were going, I had to change, so it's your fault. No accountability. She just can't admit, oh, yes, you're right, I'm sorry, I should have been ready. I apologize. Oh, no, I had to watch my sister's son. I had to babysit my nephew. My sister was running late. No accountability. You got to actually get to know these women, man. Like I said in the beginning, man, you got to treat these women like an orange. You got to peel back the layers. You got to peel back the layers, fellas, to get to really, really know them. Behind the makeup, behind the wigs, the weaves, the eyelashes, behind the childhood trauma, behind the trauma of their ex-boyfriends and past relationships, behind being a follower. Because a lot of women are followers, man. They following actresses, they following rappers, they following R&B stars, they following social media influencers. Get to know a woman and know if she really wants to have a life with you based off of a couple she's seen on social media. Because she thinks these couples have perfect lives where they never argue, they always get along. When she doesn't really want to think about reality, that off camera, behind closed doors, just like regular day-to-day people, they do have fight and arguments and discussions. A lot of these social media couples are just together for the money. But once the cameras go off, they're going about their separate ways, living their separate lives. If you appreciate this video, fellas, please hit the like button and please share it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you hit the bell, set the all, so you know every time I drop a video, man. Please like the video. It helps with the algorithm, man. YouTube is playing my videos. I'm dropping gems. But YouTube is not sharing the videos like they should, man. So I'll catch you on the next one. All right, fellas? Peace and love.